Alright, do I look all pretty? Do I look pretty over here?
What if you just want to read because you want to read? As in reading is the end, not the means to something. And, no matter the consequence or an overall descent into madness, you read because you want to read. In comes Donna Tartt. Donna fucking Tartt with A Secret History. It's pretentious, it's poetic, it's an absolute mystery, and between all those descriptors, there's also a hint. Sorry, not even a hint. There's just a dash of madness. I don't want to spoil what happens in the book because I feel like I'd be doing you a huge disservice. A huge part of the book is the mystery contained within the pages, and I don't want to take that away if you haven't read it. I'm not gonna fucking spoil the book, dog. Alright, if you're looking for a ride, please don't watch this video any further. The non-spoiler version is that it's an academically sodden book with references to classical literature and humanities sprinkled over this heavy mystery with well-written characters that just keep you on the edge of your seat. And if this sounds at all interesting to you, please give it a chance. This isn't exactly a spoiler, but you figure out who is murdered on the very first page. It's one of the main characters. His name is Bunny. You find out that he's murdered. Alright, now if you're at this point in the video, you either just ignored everything I just said.
What the fuck, dude?
Or you've already read it, or you just don't give a shit and you just want to hear what I have to say. This book, from what I hear, and also all her other books, Donna Tartt has taken 10 years to write. I mean, 10 years. That's half my life. If I started writing a book at the age of 10, I might still not have published it to this day. That's crazy to me. Now, in the book, the students try to kind of free themselves from the chains of the world by kind of losing themselves in whatever it was they could try. And they tried some shit. Like, they tried every single fucking drug they could find. Like, drank themselves half to death. Or tried these herbs and poisons that they found in their backyard. And it's referenced throughout the book, kind of, heavily. They had some sexual rites or orgies. How do I not know that word? And a lot of this seemed to have come from the classroom that they were in, and about learning about conceptions of freedom. As an example, talking about beauty, they say, it's a very Greek idea and a very profound one. Beauty is terror. Whatever we call beautiful, we quiver before it. And what could be more terrifying and beautiful to souls like the Greeks or our own than to lose control completely? So the gang tries to reach this sort of freedom, or like a sort of freedom, and through Dionysic rituals and rites, they aim to find some kind of mental insurgence that was just way better than any drug or pleasure you could ever find, anything fathomable in our consciousness. And they find it. They end up finding it. Now, a lot of the actual experience is covered in very vague metaphors, with like one of the characters, Henry, saying that it was heart-shaking, glorious, torches, dizziness, singing. So you never actually know what the experience is like. Okay, but come on. You think if Donna Tartt actually knew the secret to life, to just free yourself from everything, she'd be sitting there writing a book explaining it? Come on, dude. Come on. It's gotta be vague, because no one fucking knows what that even is. Of course, this brings up an interesting point. I asked my friend the other day what they valued the most, and they said that they valued control, whether it's like control over life, things, and people. But what if true freedom actually comes from the complete loss of control, to just be a slave to Fortuna? Alright, but I gotta say, they find that freedom, but they also end up killing a guy, and it leads to this like downward descent into madness and betrayal and just a shitty fucking life. So maybe it wasn't worth it, but who knows? Maybe just give it a shot. I want to get to the characters of the book, because I like a book with good characters, and this book has great characters. And upon meeting, or at least describing the students for the first time, Richard, the main character, says of them, his students, if they were any mark of his tutelage, were imposing enough, and different as they all were, they shared a certain coolness, a cruel, mannered charm, which was not modern in the least, but had a strange cold breath of the ancient world. They were magnificent creatures, such eyes, such hands, such looks. I envied them and found them attractive. And yes, there's a sort of academically alluring charm about them, whether it's Henry translating poems into Latin, or they're sitting in this wealthy country house sipping martinis and reciting ancient Greek verses. There is something very charming about these characters, even if they did seem cold in the first place. First, you have Henry, who's this tallish, stoic, well-mannered, well-learned figure who's deceitfully manipulative, and then you have Francis, who's well-dressed and he's got this like French-like charm, and then you have Camilla, who's the only girl in the group and is described as a wisp of silk in a forest of black wool, and her twin brother Charles, who on the outside is polite, a lot like his twin sister Camilla. And you have all these attractive characters, and they all respond to things differently in their own unique way, and it's just very fun to read. And even though they all reacted in their own individual and unique way, they all work as this one cohesive group, and without one of them, it's just really not the same, even without Bunny, who they all despised the most. Now, there's this whole section about Bunny after his death, about how he impacted the lives of the many people of Hampden, and it really gives credence to our faults in a way. Even though he was this very despised character that no one seemed to like, at least within his own friend group, they realized that after he was gone, he was an integral, he was a person, he was a human being, and I think it goes to show that no matter who you are, you have some value. On a positive note, just be yourself, just be yourself. Dog. I'm sorry. Now, I want to end this by sharing a quote that kind of describes how it felt reading this book, and it starts with Richard describing thinking back why he followed these students and was so attracted to their personalities. He says, "It's easy to see things in retrospect, but I was ignorant then of everything but my own happiness, and I don't know what else to say except that life itself seemed very magical in those days. A web of symbol, coincidence, premonition, omen. Everything, somehow, fit together. Some sly and benevolent providence was revealing itself by degrees, and I felt myself trembling on the brink of a fabulous discovery, as though any morning it was all going to come together, my future, my past, the whole of my life, and I was going to sit up in bed like a thunderbolt and say, 'Oh!' And really, that's how this book is. All these signs, they're slight and mysterious. Every single time you turn the page, it's rewarding because you learn more about this well-written plot, but at the same time, you also delve deeper into the psyches of not just Richard, but also all the characters within the novel. Anyways, that is all I have. I have nothing left in this brain. It is fucking empty. But if you enjoyed, awesome. Take care. Goodbye. Oh my god, did you just stay past the black screen? That's pretty fucking cool, dude. That's pretty... Yo, did you stay past the black screen? That's pretty cool. Look, listen, you fucking little thing. Do you see that comment section? It's kind of magical. If you use your fingers and type a book recommendation, I just magically end up reviewing that very book the next week. It's pretty fucking crazy. I know, it's a lot to process, but yeah, that's how it works, alright? I'm getting down to it. That's how it fucking works, alright? Now, if you like the video... What the fuck is wrong with me? I'm so tired. If you like the video, if you click the button, and I'm so broken. Goodbye.